Should I keep buying Altria? In this video, I break down the number of shares I currently own, what I paid for them, and take a hard look at the risks associated with this stock. As promised, I'll also reveal my entire plans for ticker symbol MO and the way I'm thinking about this stock for the rest of the year. By the way, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and thinking. Now let's take a look. If you're a fan of dividend stocks, you know the tobacco stock Altria already. This stock is part of literally every dividend-focused portfolio I've ever seen, in large part due to its $3.76 annual dividend and 53-year track record of increasing those dividends. At the time I'm recording this video, I own 603 shares of Altria at an average price of $42.71 per share. This works out to $2,267 in annual dividend payments, which is pretty awesome considering I don't need to do anything to make that money. Based on the shares I already own, I could cover one mortgage payment for me per year, plus, take my wife out to a nice dinner and drinks. What I love about buying Altria is that you really can see the measurable increase in your annual dividends with each purchase that you make. Go ahead and try out this calculator for yourself on the Altria website. It's super fun. For example, if you owned 1,000 shares of Altria, you'd get $3,760 in annual payments. 5,000 shares, you'd make over $18,000. 10,000 shares, and you'd be making over $37,000 per year just in dividend payments. You get the point. Most people aren't investing in this company because they're excited about the future prospects of selling cancer sticks to the general public. Let's just be real. Or the innovative ways to smoke. They're just investing for the income, plain and simple. The risks of this company are pretty well known. As you can see from the CDC data on this page, the rate of adults and youths that smoke has steadily declined since 1966. This trend is expected to continue going the same direction for the next decade. Now, as this rate continues heading lower, there are fewer customers for Altria, and of course that means less profits. I mean, just imagine what this trend line could look like in another 10 years. This is really rough. Another big unknown with Altria is, of course, changing government regulation. Now, one of the nice things about Altria is that it only applies to tobacco products that are sold in the United States. So you don't need to worry or stress out about regulations popping up around the world, like this plan in New Zealand that makes it illegal for anyone born after the year 2008 to ever buy cigarettes. But don't expect everything to be sunshine and rainbows just because you own the US-based tobacco stock. For example, the Biden administration has considered banning menthol cigarettes. According to a CNBC report, menthol cigarettes make up about 17% of the total sales volume of this company, so losing out on this income stream would not be a positive development, to say the least. Back in June, the FDA also announced they would ban Juul e-cigarettes in the US. Juul is, of course, owned by Altria and was acquired for an estimated $13 billion. So as you can see, there's no shortage of legal considerations with this stock either. Now, despite all of this regulatory bad news, the stock really is held up well compared to the overall stock market this year. So at the time I'm recording this video, Mo is down roughly 8% since the beginning of 2022. Hey, this is not great performance, but when you stack the company up against the NASDAQ composite, that's down 32% for since the beginning of the year. It doesn't look so bad, especially when you consider you're getting dividend payouts from MO that absorb much of the losses. So all that being said, what are my plans with Altria for the rest of the year? Well, I plan to continue buying Altria through the end of the year and simply hang on to it. I'd like to get close to owning 1,000 shares by that time, which means I'll be adding probably around another 400 shares by the end of the year. Be sure to subscribe to this channel below, and I'll give you the update near the end of the year, let you know where I landed with that. But here's how I'm thinking about this stock right now. This is a company that has a declining number of total customers, let's face it. This is also in an industry that could face unexpected regulations at any moment. And yet, all that being said, this has been the story with Altria for literally decades. This isn't anything new. Yet the company continues to operate profitably. They keep paying out their dividends every single year. If there is an upcoming recession, like a lot of people are predicting, I don't think tobacco use is going to decline any faster than it already is. And I think if an economic contraction happens, It could encourage more people to start smoking if they lose their job, they've got more time in their hands, etc. If you smoke, you'll find a way to budget for the expense too, even if there's inflation that raises the prices on your favorite product. And since the industry is so heavily regulated, there's really no way a new competitor can come in and ever pop up, disrupt the space, like you can see happen in tech, especially within these different social media stocks that we're looking at. Also considering the dividend is sitting at around 8 to 9% right now, depending on when you buy it at, you'll fully recoup your initial investment in dividends in about 11 years. So even if the company does, say, go out of business 20 years from now because no one uses the product anymore, it will still be a solid investment for you that more than just returns your initial capital and gives you 20 years worth of payments, right? So ideally, of course, I'd love for the company to continue chugging along for another 50 years so I could pass the stock on to my kids, even if the company has to reduce the total amount of its dividend payouts in the future. I don't know if that will happen, of course, but I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility either that this company could still be in business 50 years from now. I will let you know my thoughts on Altria. Now let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this a stock you think is worth holding onto, or do you think that the risk of regulation is just way too high to own it? I read and respond to almost every comment, so let me know.